to go over the first quarter picks for the new year. So we're going to be talking about, for the So Mote book club, the picks for January, February, and March. So let's jump in. All the synopses that I have here, I have pulled from Goodreads, and I tried to make sure that these were easy to get a hold of. That may change in the future because we had that issue with August's pick where we had to do a change. Any changes that need to be made will end up, I'll post about that on the community tab here on YouTube or on the Twitter for the book club. So make sure you're following that space to keep up to date. But for book one for January, we will be reading Rise of the Witch, Making Magic Happen Your Way by Whiskey Stevens. The synopsis is, Rise, Witch, rise. It's time to claim your magical power and build a practice that is wholly yours, one that is spiritually fulfills you and reveals your purpose. More than a how-to guide, Rise of the Witch is a deep exploration of the inner workings of witchcraft and your integral role in creating magic. Whiskey Stevens provides a comprehensive look at both the basics and more advanced topics, taking you from the history of the craft to shadow work and everywhere in between. Rise of the Witch teaches a wide variety of magical skills, such as creating and casting spells, harnessing powerful energies, and making sacred space. Whiskey also empowers those who are hesitant to come out as witches or need to keep their practice secret. Packed with guidance on the elements, tarot, intuition, and more, this book helps you fully embrace your unique brand of magic. So I am pretty excited with this. I've heard of the author before, but I haven't picked up any of their works yet, so I'm hoping that this will kind of be a way to dip my toes into it. Then for February, we are going back to a Paula Braxton book. We read the Witch's Daughter and the second book in that duology earlier in the year, at the first of the year. So we are gonna go back to her world by reading The Silver Witch. The synopsis for that is, a year after her husband's sudden death, ceramic artist Tilda Ford Wells finally moves into the secluded Welsh cottage that was to be their new home. She hopes that the tranquil surroundings will help ease her grief and lessen her disturbing visions of Matt's death. Instead, the lake in the valley below her cottage seems to spark something dormant in her, a sensitivity and a power of sort. Animals are drawn to her, electricity shorts out when she's near, and strangest of all, she sees a new vision, a boat full of ancient people approaching her across the water. On this same lake in Celtic times lived Serene, a witch and a shaman. She was respected but feared, kept separate from the community for her strange looks. When a vision came to her of the prince amid a nest of vipers, she warned of betrayal from one of his own. Prince Brannock both loved and revered her, but could not believe someone close to him wished him harm, even as the danger grew. In her own time, Tilda's grief begins to fade beside her newfound powers and fresh love. When she explores the lake's ancient magic in her own, she discovers Serene, the woman in her vision of the boat. Their two lives strangely mirror each other's, suggesting a strong connection between the women. As Tilda comes under threat from a dark power, one reminiscent of Serene's prophecy, she must rely on Serene and ancient magic if death and disaster are not to shatter her life once more. So this will be like another historical fiction, like dual timeline type of thing that was in The Witch's Daughter. So I am pretty hyped to get into that because of all the Paula Braxton books that I've read so far, I really did enjoy them, so I would like to continue reading them with you guys. And for March, we have Root and Ritual, Timeless Ways to Connect to Land, Lineage, Community in the Self by Becca Pastorelli. A beautifully illustrated guide for connecting with the earth, your ancestors, and your communities as you come home to your whole self. Despite our best efforts, our modern world leaves so many of us feeling isolated, unworthy, and alone. We're uprooted from the land, untethered from our lineages, disconnected from our communities, and separated from our deepest sense of self. In Root and Ritual, Becca offers a pathway back to connection and wholeness through rituals, recipes, and ancestral wisdom. Though we live in a radically different looking world, the need of our bodies and spirits are the same as the ancestors we come from. Divided into 4 parts, land, lineage, community, and self, this book takes you on a journey for engaging more deeply with your life. Part 1 introduces practices for reconnecting with the land, including seasonal recipes, crafting with plants, and tending your home. In Part 2, you'll learn to reclaim the gifts of your lineage as you understand past harms and explore the traditional folklore, foods, and arts of those who came before. Part 3 centers on community, helping you cultivate sisterhood and celebrate meaningful rites of passage. In Part 4, you'll return to yourself as you open your intuition, tune in your body, and awake the wild woman within. A rich and dynamic treasure chest of timeless teachings, Root and Ritual is a beautiful guide for knowing who you are and that you belong here. So I hope you guys will join us for the quarter as we discuss these lovely books. And if you have any suggestions for any future picks, let me know in the comments down below, and I will definitely add them in as ideas for the future. And until next time, you guys, blessed be.